It's time for timeline prediction. When can you expect to receive your ITA? In this video, I'll predict draw by draw results. So let's find out. Hello and welcome to Canadian Dream. This channel is all about Canadian immigration related news and updates. In today's video, we'll try to predict the expected timeline to receive ITA up until September 2023. On your demand, I'm back with another timeline prediction video. I'll be predicting draw by draw results until we reach August 23. I'll be using what we can call a fairly optimistic approach here. Why am I calling it a fairly optimistic approach? The draw size moving forward is unpredictable. I have used IRCC's immigration levels plan to come up with a possible draw size for the rest of the year. I found two possible draw sizes, one for an optimistic scenario and one for a pessimistic scenario. In this video, I'm using the optimistic one. Let me explain the assumptions I have made for this timeline prediction. Number 1. The number of new candidates added to the pool with series 451 to 1200 will range between 3000 to 3500. Number 2. Draws will continue bi-weekly without any pause. Number 3. Bill C-19 does not come before August. I'm working on another timeline prediction video that will use assumptions for a pessimistic case. You can watch that if things go in an unfavorable direction. Please note, my predictions are based on current trends. I'll try to update these predictions if there is any major change seen in the draws. First, let's quickly look at my calculation method. I want you to understand the method I used, so you know how I calculated this and whether you can rely on my prediction or not. To predict the timeline, we mainly need to have these 4 pieces of information. Number 1. The pool breakdown, meaning how many candidates are in the pool after the last draw. Number 2. New addition to the pool. This will tell us how many candidates might get added to the pool in the future. Number 3. Candidates expected before every draw. Number 4. Draw size, so we know how many candidates will be covered by each draw. So let's start. Number 1. The pool breakdown. We have the pool breakdown from our last video where we looked at the pool breakdown after the 29th March draw. On 29th March 2023, 7,000 invitations were sent out and the cutoff score was 481. From the 7,000 invitations, 261 were used up by candidates with 600 plus scores. After this, there were 6,739 ITs in hand. 468 ITs were dedicated to the 501 to 600 range to cover all the candidates in the range. There were 6,271 ITs left. The 491 to 500 range had 374 candidates, so this range was covered too, leaving 5,897 ITs in hand. There were 6,859 candidates in the 481 to 490 range. So after sending out 5,897 invitations, there should be 962 candidates left in this range. We have got the first piece of information. Let's move to the second. Number 2. New addition to the pool. Now we need to find how many candidates might get added to the pool as we move forward. I have averaged the data from the last 5 draws for this, and here's the result. In the range of 601 to 1200, 719 candidates are expected. Between 501 to 600, 1166. Between 491 to 500, 872. Between 481 to 490, 294. Between 471 to 480, 189. Between 461 to 470, 28. And between 451 to 460, 63 candidates are expected. I'm expecting a total of 3,332 candidates to add up before every draw. I think this is a very reasonable number based on the past records, and I have kept this number constant for the entire timeline prediction calculation. Number 3. Candidates expected before the draw. To find this, we just need to simply add the first 2 pieces of information before every draw. Number 4. Draw size. IRCC just conducted 3 back-to-back draws at 7,000. How long will IRCC continue draws with such big draw size? It is unpredictable to be honest, so I have used IRCC's immigration levels plan to come up with a possible draw size for the rest of the year. I found 2 possible draw sizes, one based on the target, which is around 3,300. I call this the pessimistic draw size, and another possible draw size is 4,000. I call this fairly optimistic as I used the high range from the levels plan. If you want to know how I came to these numbers from the levels plan, then watch my detailed video on the topic. In this video, I'll be using 4,000 as the draw size. However, I have a feeling that the draw size will gradually reach 4,000. So I have also used 5,000 and 4,500 as the draw sizes. I think I'll make a video on why I feel draw size may be higher than what the levels plan suggests. Okay, now we have all the information we need. Let's put the numbers into calculation. The math is simple. Find the number of candidates after the draw, estimate the number of new candidates that could be add them to find the candidates before the draw, deduct the number of candidates when a draw is conducted, repeat. So let's start with the next draw, which is expected on the 12th of April. We have already discussed this. I'll round it up quickly. From the pool breakdown, we know there are only 962 candidates above 480. I'm expecting 719 candidates in the 601 to 1200 range, 1166 in the 501 to 600 range, 872 in the 491 to 500 range, 294 in the 481 to 490 range. A total of 3051 candidates to join with CRS above 480. So right before the draw, there will be 962 plus 3051, a total of 4031 candidates over CRS 480. Draw issues 5000 ITAs, taking out all candidates in the 481 to 1200 range, leaving 987 ITAs for 471 to 480 range. There are 21,240 candidates in this range, so 987 ITAs won't be able to make much of a difference. This means that the cutoff score will possibly be 480. The next draw is expected on the 26th of April. After the last draw, we know there are no candidates above 480 and there are 20,253 candidates in the 471 to 480 range. I'm expecting a total of 3,051 candidates to join with CRS above 480 and 189 to join the 471 to 480 range. So right before the draw, there will be 3,051 candidates over CRS 480 and 20,442 candidates in the 471 to 480 range. Draw issues 5,000 ITAs, taking out all candidates in the 481 to 1200 range, leaving 1,949 ITAs for the 471 to 480 range. There are 20,442 candidates in this range, so 1,949 ITAs can only make a small difference. This means that the cutoff score will possibly be 479. The next draw is expected on the 10th of May. After the last draw, we know there are no candidates above 480 and there are 18,494 candidates in the 471 to 480 range. I'm expecting the same numbers to add up. So right before the draw, there will be 3,051 candidates over CRS 480 and 18,683 candidates in the 471 to 480 range. Draw issues 4,500 ITAs, taking out all candidates in the 481 to 1200 range, leaving 1,449 ITAs for 471 to 480 range. There are 18,683 candidates in this range, so 1,449 ITAs can only make a small dent. This means that the cutoff score will possibly be 478. The next draw is expected on the 24th of May. After the last draw, we know there are no candidates above 480 and there are 17,234 candidates in the 471 to 480 range. I'm expecting the same numbers to add up. So right before the draw, there will be 3,051 candidates over CRS 480 and 17,423 candidates in the 471 to 480 range. Draw issues 4,500 ITAs, taking out all candidates in the 481 to 1200 range, leaving 1,449 ITAs for 471 to 480 range. There are 17,423 candidates in this range, and a big chunk of the candidates in this range are expected to have CRS 478. So 1,449 ITAs may not be enough to make any difference. This means that the cutoff score will possibly be 478 again. The next draw is expected on the 7th of June. After the last draw, we know there are no candidates above 480 and there are 15,975 candidates in the 471 to 480 range. I'm expecting the same numbers to add up. So right before the draw, there will be 3,051 candidates over CRS 480 and 16,164 candidates in the 471 to 480 range. Draw issues 4,000 ITAs, taking out all candidates in the 481 to 1200 range, leaving 949 ITAs for the 471 to 480 range. There are 16,164 candidates in this range. As a big chunk of the candidates in this range are expected to have CRS 478, so only 949 ITAs may not be enough to make any difference. This means that the cutoff score will possibly be 478 once again. If we continue the draws at this pace, on the 21st of June, the cutoff score will possibly be 477. On the 5th of July, the cutoff score will possibly be 476. On the 19th of July, the cutoff score will possibly be 475. On the 2nd of August, the cutoff score will possibly be 475 again. On the 16th of August, the cutoff score will possibly be 475 once again. On the 30th of August, the cutoff score will possibly be 474. I've assumed a big number of candidates in this range are with CRS 478, 475 and 474. We have reached the second half of 2023. Bill C-19 should be implemented by this time, or it should come around soon. And I think it's meaningless to predict anything beyond this point, as Bill C-19 is expected to change the ways draws are conducted. I know it looks scary, especially for those who are on the borderline, that is 474 and below. I'll be honest with you guys, no one knows what exactly will be the fate in this journey. Just 1 month back, 481 was hard to believe, and now we are here. IRCC is just unpredictable. If they come up with few more 7K draws, that would help a lot. I have a plan of sharing a pessimistic timeline prediction with you guys, so you can be mentally prepared for the worst case scenario. For those who keep messaging me to support my work, you can buy me a coffee now using this link. This will be appreciated. Don't end the video yet, there's more. Please remember, this calculation is based on very little and unpredictable kind of data we have in hand. The actual scenario may be and should be different. I'll try to update this as we receive more data from the draws. Also, I want to tell you what factors can delay or shorten your waiting period. Factors that can delay your waiting period. Number 1. If more people are added to the pool compared to our prediction. Number 2. If draw size is capped below 4,000. Number 3. If draws are not conducted regularly. Factors that can shorten your waiting period. Number 1. If fewer people are added to the pool compared to our prediction. Number 2. If the draw size is capped above 4,000. Number 3. If draws are conducted regularly. That's the end of the timeline prediction for now. So when are you expecting your ITA? Do you agree with my assumptions and my calculation method? Let me know in the comment section. I hope this video was helpful. Please let me know if you liked it or if you have any problem understanding my analysis. Your feedback can help me make better videos for you. To get regular updates on Express Entry, do subscribe and click on the bell icon. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm also available on TikTok right now. You can also follow me there as well. I try to share regular updates on my socials. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.